Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about, let me say this right, Concilium Urbis. Concilium Urbis, which is just hard to say. I keep wanting to say Council Urbis or Councilia, but anyway, Concilium Urbis. Now, what is it about? We are on kind of like almost a Dune, Arrakis type planet where, all the great factions of the universe come here to, build up industry and, extract resources. But unlike Dune, where everybody just erupts in war to do that, here, all the different factions from around the galaxy have decided to convene the Concilium Urbis, which means in this game, we are politicians working with other players to set the laws of this planet, hopefully for our own benefit and not for our opponent's benefit. Now, at its heart, this is really a tile-laying game. Here you can see this is one player about maybe half, 2/3 of the way through the game, and you can see they're building up. They're starting to build some towers over here. They've got some residences. They've got a mining thing, and there's rules for different things. Residences want to be next to the mining areas. Towers want to be next to the statues. So you've got different rules for how these different tiles, once you get them and you build your little grid of your own city on the planet. But what will happen is over the course of the game, at the end of every round, let's see if I can find a picture, there is going to be a vote. Because at any given time, come on, show me the laws. Show me the laws. All right, here's some laws. This is not quite it, but these are the 3 different potential laws that determine how, let's see, I think this one is how the city parks score. And one of these cards will have come out as part of setup. And so parks might score really poorly at only 1 point a park. If you if you put them correctly, I think parks want to be next. Oh no, this is that's the one for parks are the red things. Is that the towers? I think this is the towers. No, those are the towers. Sorry, folks. I do not remember the towers versus the parks versus the factories. But anyway, so this is one of the types of things. And if you build in the correct way, you might only get 1 point for the stuff you build around it. Or you might get 2 or 3. And when it's set up, these might have been really terrible. But what's going to happen is over the course of the game, at the end of every round, we are going to vote on some laws because new laws get drawn. Everybody knows what's coming up for a vote. And everybody can see that, the vote is going to change these from being only worth 1 point to 3 points. Those votes are coming. They're coming soon. And so everybody, in addition to everything else you're trying to do, we are trying to collect enough influence tokens so that when the vote comes at the end of the round, everybody secretly reveals, boom, how important is it for this vote to pass or fail? Because you can see this person is saying vote, fail. They hit it. People thought, you're going to vote for the pass, but nope. They point towards the fail. They want this law because they can see some other player will benefit for the parks to suddenly be worth 3 points instead of 1 because that player's got a lot of parks and I don't. So I'm going to vote no, no, no. And of course, if you're playing with multiple people around the table, you can get, temporary alliances where 2 players don't want to see that pass. And so they can, tally their votes or, get them together and whatnot. And so that's half the game is every round we're going to be doing these votes, trying to change the laws of this planet to be good for me and not good for my opponents. So that's half of the game. But that's just half of the game. Then there is the drafting. This is, I guess you'd call it a closed draft, I split, you choose. It's a combination of mechanisms. Because what happens is, every round, everybody gets 4 tiles in their hand. And they have to break them into 2 bundles. A bundle of 2 and a bundle of 2. So, these 2 tiles go together and these 2 tiles go together. Then what they do is, they take both of those bundles and hand them to the next player over. That player has to pick one of those bundles to keep and one of the other bundles to come back to me. And meanwhile, my neighbor in the other direction handed me 2 bundles. And so I'm looking, okay, which of these 2 bundles do I want? Well, I'm hoping this other bundle is going to come back because I handed those 2 bundles over because I had to split them up. And I know one of those bundles is coming back. I know I'm going to keep one of these bundles because at the end of it, I'm going to have 4 tiles. One of which I hope, if I set the bundles up, they'll bring them back to me. And I could bribe my opponent to say, I know how much you want more parks. I'm going to put this park over here with this factory so that I can keep the double tower because I'm trying to make a really tall tower. And And so I'm hoping, and those towers are worth a lot, so I'm hoping they'll give me that tower bundle back, because I gave them something nice, right? I could have split the towers and gotten one of each, but I'm hoping I'll get those towers back. And then meanwhile, my other neighbor says, oh, they gave me a tower and a power plant, and then a park and a residence. I want those towers. But if I can get that tower plus those other 2 towers, that's going to be amazing. I'm going to have a huge payday. But if I become too good at towers, I still know there's a chance the towers could get voted down later. So I'm going to take a chance, and this is all the mind games that go on in Concilium Urbis when you are working both with and against your opponents, because everybody at some point, when I was playing this, Jen and I played this 3-player game, I was offering, hey, you know what? If you make sure you vote for that so that the power plants are really valuable for me because I care about those a lot, I can see you like them, but you know I love them. Tell you what, the next time I get a park, I guarantee I will put it in, you tell me what you want it bundled with, and if I can, I will. So you can start doing that kind of stuff. Me, I love that kind of stuff. Not everybody does. A lot of people, and that was definitely, when I played 3-player games, the other 2 people at the table were not interested in wheeling and dealing with me. And so you got to know this going in. This is a really clever game. It's a fun, simple, little tile laying game where you're building a very tiny area. So you're really, really constrained. So you got a lot of pressure. You've got this interesting I split, you choose blind drafting thing, that's going on as well. And then every round, you've got the social game of trying to vote with other players, if other players will join you in those votes. So that is an amazing combination of mechanisms that makes Concilium Urbis unlike anything I've ever played. And me personally, I dug it. But I love negotiation, and I love tile laying. Now, as I said, neither Jen nor I are big fans of I Split, You Choose. But to be honest, the I Split, You Choose in this game is nowhere near as egregious or over the top as it has been in other games we've played. So we found it okay here. But still, I'm putting it lower on the list at number 12 of the month, both because, hey, there are a lot of really amazing games this month because we're coming up towards Essen, of course, but because, one, my wife doesn't like I Split, You Choose at all. My wife doesn't like, negotiation at all. And while this can be played solo and is a 2-player game as well, of course, if you're playing as a 2-player game, there goes any chance to negotiate. It's going to just be much more black and white, zero-sum, who's got the votes, who doesn't, kind of a thing. And so my favorite thing about the game goes away. So, and it becomes just a fun little, tile laying game with an interesting I Split, You Choose, and a voting thing, not dissimilar from, say, Lancaster or something like that. So it's still fun. But honestly, I think this game is going to be better the more people you have. It can go up to 6 players. And that's a pretty big deal. It's fast. It's less than an hour. 6-player game. Tight. Tension-filled. Both the tile laying and the drafting and the voting. So, it's an interesting combination of stuff that isn't going to work for everybody, but you and your friends. Some people out here, this is going to be a Game of the Year candidate because it's such an interesting combination of mechanisms you've never seen together before. For me, it was great. For my wife, it was like, I don't know. And so, I'm kind of splitting the difference because I take her into account when I rate things, which is why Concilium Urbis comes in at number 12. But man, if I was still in the video game industry playing with some of my old co-workers over lunch, this would be the perfect lunch game for us. Back, as a break from wheeling and dealing over sheep and lumber in Catan. Anyway, though.
And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.